Hey guys, I just want to make sure that you're using the MoveMain and MoveLine commands correctly. And in this example, I'm going to show you the two methods to use the tool. So I'll type in my MLI command for MoveLine, MLI. It's going to ask me if I'm doing a pipe run, one direction, or coupling segment. I don't have any couplings drawn. And if I did have two couplings drawn 21 feet apart, it would only move the one section between. But since I don't have that, I'm going to go with the straight pipe run. So I'll select the word straight pipe run. At that point, it's going to ask him to pick the branch line. And I think I started the move line command, not move main command. So we'll just work with it and we'll go here. So I'm going to pick this branch line here, the second branch line from the left side. I'll select it. And it asks me, what do you want to do? Do you want to do a direction then distance? Or do you want to pick the new location? Now, this is where it gets tricky, and I see a lot of people make this mistake. They pick direction then distance and think it's 2 and 1. It isn't. It's two separate steps after this. I'll pick direction then distance. The first question says pick which side it goes on. So is it going to the left or is it going to the right? I'll tell it it's going to the left, and I'll tell it it's going over a foot to the left. But my first click is just to tell it which side to go on. So I'm picking to the left of this branch line. Then it wants to know how far it's going to move over. So I'll tell it it's going to go over 18 inches. So I'll tell it 18, and then I'll hit enter. Then it asks, hey, are the sprinkler heads moving along with it? I'll answer no in this case, and you'll see what happens. And what it does is it moves that branch line. Remember, this was a 10-foot length before. Now it's 8.6, and this was 10 foot. Now it's 11.6. And because it was 18 inches, it drew an arm over pipe to match the new direction. So that's how the move line command works when you pick direction then distance. The other option is to select a new location, and to do that, we'll move the main north 10 inches, so that will become a 5-foot length. But before I do that, I want to make sure I'm in a layer that's an inconspicuous layer. So I like doing this with the interference layer. That interference layer, I'm going to draw a construction line there. So I'm going to draw a line, and I'll draw it starting before the main begins and ending after the main. So just kind of like this, something that overlaps like that. You notice I eyeballed it. So now I'm going to make sure that this line is 10 inches away from this pipe. So I'm going to type in my MIB command, make it be. It's going to ask me to select the stationary object, pick on that, select the move object to move, which is the orange line, and I'll tell it it's going to be 10 inches away. So now that orange line is exactly 10 inches away from my main. This will be the new location of the main. So we're going to use the move main. I forgot the command, but it's right here anyway. So I'm going to pick my MMA command, pick it, select the pipes using straight pipe run, coupling segment, blah, blah, blah. I'll pick straight pipe run, pick the main to move. I'll select this main right here. Then it's going to ask me for the new location. Now I'm not doing direction then distance. If I did direction then distance, I would click direction then distance. Then I would click north of the main. Then I would type in 10. In this case, I'm just going to click on my orange line here. So I'm going to select shift right click. I'll select nearest to this orange line right about there. And I'll pick it. And what happens is you'll see that my main moved 10 inches north. It's now right on top of my construction line. I can get rid of my construction line now. And now this length is 5 foot even, and this is whatever, I guess it was 4'10" earlier. Now it's exactly 5 foot. It's 4'2" plus 10 equals 5 feet. So now this is 5 feet away. So there you go. This is the proper method to use the move main and move line commands. And I show you both methods. I think you should be all set. I have a feeling you were using direction then distance, trying to do both at the same time. So hopefully this answered that question. One quick thing I noticed after you used the move main command, and I forgot to mention this in the previous video, your elevation markers will not get moved. So you want to go back and just verify that any elevation markers you may have placed on the drawing, make sure to go and move them so that they're now back on top of the pipe. The other thing, just real quick here, you'll notice that this and this should be one. They got ungrouped. If you type in the command regroup, that runs the full command hcat underscore regroup deflines. That will rejoin those. Now they're back together again, and now I can the move command and move that back there, and now we're good to go. So there you go. That should finalize the move main and move line commands. Thanks for watching.